Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
I'm a little leery of opening my mouth and hearing what comes out. I'm still struggling a little bit here, guys. But good morning to you, or good afternoon, whatever it is. How are we going to get through this? How are we going to get through this? I'll tell you, if there was ever a day I wanted to be on the air, it was yesterday, and of course I wasn't here, but Tuesday, the news kept coming. I mean, it was every 5 seconds another bombshell. The fact is our media can't keep up with this. We can't. There's stories falling away all over the place that we should know about. I don't know what to say, except to say that I am genuinely frightened. I'm not engaging in hyperbole. I am truly frightened for our country. Celine and I were just talking, and she used the adjective that I was thinking of too, stark. The contrast that was there for all to see of our outgoing president on Tuesday night in his wonderful farewell address. That man in contrast to the man who will take his place is unbearable. It's unbearable. It's unbearable about what it says about us. That we would trade a dignified, thoughtful patriot for this dangerous, crazy person. And if you were watching that press conference, whatever that was, yesterday, and understand that all over the world they're watching. And I was thinking, my God, if I think I'm afraid, do you know how fearful people are all over the world? That this most consequential of nations is going to, in 10 days, be turned over to that vulgarian, buffoon, tyrant. So there are times when I'm literally feeling like paralyzed, like I don't know. It's hard for me to even just talk about it. I don't know what to say anymore. I am literally terrified. I will say, I do not think this man will see 4 years in the presidency. I don't see it. He heads into it with the lowest approval rating of any incoming president. He's entangled in scandal, before he's even taken the oath. This is going to, by dribs and drabs, come apart. And the damage to our country, to our government, to our national identity is going to be stunning. You don't have to be a seer to be able to predict this. I look at Republicans now in the Congress and I see traitors. I really see traitors. What are they really thinking? Wouldn't you want to know what they really say to each other about him? And how they're willing to go along because it yields them power. And damn the country. I'm serious. I don't know where to start. I recall saying months and months and months and months and months and months and months ago, before he ever won, that I bet the Russians had something on him. And I mean, it goes without saying, it wouldn't be hard to get something on Donald Trump. Nancy Drew could do it in like two minutes. It's not hard. And that it would be about his financial entanglements, or it would be about his vulgarian lifestyle. You'd have to be crazy to think they don't have stuff. And it is the only thing that helps explain why he has never said a disparaging word about Vladimir Putin, because Putin owns him. Max Boot, who is it's a great name, and I know it's a guy who is with the Council on Foreign Relations. And he is very clear about this dossier and the CNN report and the conflation of the two, which is unfortunate, and I'd like to talk about a little bit more later. But he makes clear, and this is what people have to realize, that just because all of these allegations are unproven, it does not mean they are false. The fact is that leading intelligence officials found them credible enough to bother the president with them and the incoming president with them. By the way, are you aware, I know the Wall Street Journal outed the British spy whose work this is in their paper today. His name, his company, and the latest news is he is now on the run. No one knows where he is. He has run in fear of his life. He figures he's going to get offed by the Russians. This is serious stuff, guys. And how anyone anyone who pretends or purports to be an American citizen could forgive or explain away Donald Trump's giving greater credence to the Kremlin than to our United States intelligence agencies is beyond my comprehension. And all that does, the fact that he will take the side of the Kremlin against our intelligence agencies, just underscores why so many of us believe he's in Putin's pocket. It's the behavior of somebody fearful of crossing the guy who's got the goods on you. If the Republicans were not a bunch of traitors, they would, by now, have already appointed a bipartisan select committee to investigate all of this stuff. Max Boot suggests, look, you could take Leon Panetta and Michael Hayden, both former CIA heads, both respected men, Republican, Democrat, let them head it. There would be instant credibility with those two. And let's get to the bottom of this. But the traitors, the Republicans, will not do it because it could lead to their loss of power. And if Trump were innocent, wouldn't he welcome putting all this to rest? Wouldn't he welcome it? He's the one who should be asking. Come on, I want everybody. I mean, if you got nothing to hide, but that he so adamantly opposes any such effort to get to the bottom of all of this, tells you that he's got something to hide. Boot says Trump appears to be infatuated with the autocrat in the Kremlin. And as the Russian dissident and chess champion Garry Kasparov has said, Trump has criticized Democrats, Republicans, the Pope, U.S. elections, the CIA, the FBI, NATO, Meryl Streep. He has not criticized Vladimir Putin. You can't make it up. You can't even, your wildest imaginings can't have conjured this reality. And that so-called news conference yesterday, again, I don't even know where to begin. That was no normal news conference. That was like a skit, a play, a performance of some sort. He brought along his own claque who cheered him, his answers. Stop and think the last time you ever saw a presidential news conference where people who were in the room, who are not journalists, were cheering and or jeering. You've never seen that because it doesn't happen. It's like his brown shirts. He can't go out without that protective bullying force surrounding him. One of my favorite tweets I saw on Twitter a few days ago was this. Can we just skip ahead to the part where Jared Kushner is in jail and Trump is fleeing the country? Could we? Could we just fast forward to whenever that is, because it might not be all that long? Could we just please? I'll take that constitutional crisis over the nauseating fear I am feeling. And the Republicans, what were they up to at 2, 3 in the morning this morning? Unbelievable, these guys. Paving the way to pull Obamacare down. Voting against veterans' health care. Voting against the CHIP program for children. Voting against taking candy from babies. I mean, you can't make it up. They stayed up till the wee hours ensuring that Americans will die for lack of access to health care. I mean, I really, guys, I don't know. I don't know where to go anymore. I can't treat it like it's normal. I can't. I'm a babbling person now. We have a call. Hello.
Hey, Lynn.
Yeah.
You noticed he surrounds himself in liars just like himself.
Yes.
Conway.
Yes.
Don Spicer.
Yes.
If you look at all these people, they tell lies and lies.
All they do.
All day long.
They just lie.
And then you got Rex Tillerson. He just told a lie yesterday where he didn't know that his company was lobbying for, the sanctions.
You know what? I watched some of his hearing, and it was mind-blowing. This man, former head of ExxonMobil, who Trump wants to be Secretary of State, he is so unqualified, it's beyond belief. This guy, and he was lying through his teeth. He didn't seem to, as you're saying, he didn't seem to recall anything that occurred while he was the CEO of ExxonMobil. He apparently was sitting up in, in his corner office, practicing putting or something. He does not recall. How many times did he say, I do not recall. I do not recall. He has obviously a serious memory deficiency, or he's lying.
Yeah, you're right.
Unbelievable.
I'm to the point where I just wish they just nominate them all, and I'll cover my eyes and hide in a corner and let my licks come towards me. See, maybe I can, survive it. I mean, because it's going to be bad. I keep saying, and maybe people get sick enough of them and maybe get, the Senate back or something. There's no answer to this right now. I'm engaging in what's, called magical thinking. I just keep thinking something's going to happen and save us. Do you believe that knowing what we know about this man and the people around him, that we are just marching forward and are going to turn over the keys of our government to him in 10 days? Oh, it's
this thin-skinned, erratic
and then I think
person.
North Korea is going to shoot the missile. He's going to shoot it down. China's going to get pissed. We're going to get into, which I didn't think would be possible, World War III. I mean, it's and people go, oh, that won't happen. Oh, I don't know. It's scary. It really is. And, adding to it, overlaying it all today, is that you could be walking around right now in shorts. I mean, the weather today is sort of all of a piece of this. That something is so out of whack. Something makes no sense anymore. You can't get your feet under you because nothing is as it should be.
Right. I just hope when we get the Big Bang and the world's destroyed, we don't suffer. We just go, boom, we're done. That's it.
Yeah, well,
it's sick to say that.
It's beyond belief.
It is. It's really terrible. And people don't realize that he's going to be fine. He's going to do this and that. No, it's not going to happen.
I can't believe that there are people who still are willing to defend him. I cannot believe it.
I mean, his policies, there's nothing in there that...
He has no policies.
Nothing there that
What?
says, wow, that's a good idea.
You know what? What did he say at this press conference? I mean, he said so many absurd things, but one of the things he said is he was going to submit a plan to repeal and replace Obamacare essentially simultaneously. He doesn't have a clue. It is impossible. It is a complex, extraordinarily intricate piece of legislation. One of the reasons it's messed up. But he's going to repeal and replace it essentially simultaneously. Now, that is such a bald-faced lie that we don't even know how to respond anymore. How do you even respond or counter somebody who is simply spouting bullshit, just unbelievable bullshit?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh, all right, okay,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Chuck writes, I watched the entire press conference. It was an embarrassing circus. He brought up Hillary Clinton a number of times. I think in his mind he's still running against her. Someone should tell him he won. Yeah, he can't get out of campaign mode. He doesn't want to be the president. He just wants the adulation of the crowds. And every time he gets up, he still says, I won. You never saw such crowds. He said, I'm going to be the greatest job producer that God ever created. Did you hear that one? How? This is our president? This is our president? I can't... I don't... It is like denigrating buffoons to call him a buffoon. Josh writes, I was thinking that prop table he had up there, oh God, during the press conference made me think of the folding chairs that people throw at each other in studio wrestling or the Jerry Springer show. I was really waiting for him to flip over the table and papers flying everywhere. It's just cheap stagecraft for his many fans. Yeah, what was that? It's a bunch of friggin' folders. And this was his plan to divest, we were told. Here's a bunch of papers. Some reporter tried to look at them and got his hand slapped. You can't see those. It was a prop, right. See, look, America, look at this big stack of papers. See? He's going to divest. What did that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Every person who knows anything about ethics, constitutional law, all say his so-called divestiture is just bullshit. It's meaningless. Inadequate does not even begin to describe it. He's a crook. He's a con. He's a grifter. He's a dangerous, dangerous man. Use his last address to us to tell us that it was on us to save the country from him, from his successor. That's what was underneath that speech. That our democracy is, in fact, not a given. That it is just words on a piece of parchment, and it doesn't exist without us. And it is a fragile thing. And it can break. And it can be lost to us. And now, we are going to have someone in the White House who has no appreciation whatsoever for any of that. And in fact is not drawn to democracy. He doesn't like that at all. He is no small d Democrat. He is an autocrat. Those are the people he looks up to. That is what he sees himself as. And that is how he intends to govern. Although if you recall, during the campaign, he didn't use the word govern. He used the word rule. Anyone taking bets on which one of these guys, this bunch, Trump and his bunch, will end up in jail in the next 4 years? Seriously, how many? He could end up making Nixon and Watergate look like a 2-year-old's birthday party. He could end up. The fact that the Watergate caught on fire yesterday, like practically during the press conference, you can't make it up. Watergate. It seems so innocent now. Bunch of guys like bandits break in, jimmy a file cabinet, make off with some file or two. Brought a president down. Look what we got now. Something quaint about Watergate now. And there's even something quaint about Monica Lewinsky and her blue dress now. Now that we all know what golden showers are. Beyond belief. Kathleen says, thank God that you're giving voice to what we're all thinking and feeling, but what do we do? Where do we turn? Will no one move to rescue our country? Are we this far gone? Yeah, this is where we are. And I heard some reporter say, that Washington, D.C., if you look around Washington now, people are literally standing around. Media, government people, elected, civil, whatever, they're standing around with their mouths hanging open, and nobody knows what to do. Everybody's waiting for some savior. Somebody ride in here and make this go away. Somebody do something, and nobody is. We made our bed. We're going to lie in it. Kathleen says, is there any American leader who will show us a way out? You do look for somebody. But you see, I'm numb, she says. You're right when you say that you can't make this up. Thanks for doing so well. What must be an agonizing day. Well, but I just.
Another thing about the reporters. One of the things that we have got to pray is that there are enough true journalists in the media and people of honor that they will, despite the threats to them, just keep at this guy and his corrupt administration. And eventually, believe me, as I said, bit by bit, it is going to crumble. It is rotten to the core. When he wouldn't call on the CNN reporter yesterday, I don't know who the reporter was who he did turn to and let speak, some woman. I'd like to know who she was because I'd like to punch her out. Because this is what we need from the Fourth Estate now, since the other three are in the hands of traitors, the Republicans. We need the Fourth Estate to man up and to take on the tyrant in chief. And when he will not call on the guy from CNN, and then he calls on the other reporter, it is that reporter who must ask the same question. And if he does not respond to that, the next reporter asks the same question again. And on and on. They need to have a front, a unified front. Hold him to the fire. Don't let the SOB control it. They've got to fight back. For us. I don't blame them right now for being on their heels. I don't blame them. I mean, we all are. We're all in a state of shock, disbelief, grief. It's all those stages of, denial, grief, anger, bargaining, anything but acceptance. I want to say that I thought CNN's reporting was excellent and journalistically correct. They were careful as hell not to say anything, not to put anything out there that was not deemed credible. I've never seen CNN, which I have jumped on many times, be that specifically careful. And that was a huge story. As for BuzzFeed, that's not journalism. Taking the unsubstantiated, unproven shit that CNN had, but wouldn't put out until it could verify. This is what journalism is. Why don't these jerks who think they're reporters understand that? You don't just throw crap out there and call yourself a reporter. You verify. You put truth out. Throwing just raw intelligence memos out, and anyone knows that raw intelligence has truth in it, has crap in it, has blah, blah, blah. It's just a bunch of stuff. But by virtue of the fact that BuzzFeed, whatever the
BuzzFeed, these are internet journalists, BuzzFeed puts out, just throws it's like WikiLeaks, right? That's like WikiLeaks. Don't vet it, don't context it, don't anything, just vomit it. And call yourself a reporter. By virtue of doing what they did, they allowed Trump and his people to take the CNN report and the BuzzFeed report, put them together, conflate them, and then throw them both away. BuzzFeed took down CNN's good reporting by its lazy, irresponsible regurgitation of unverified raw intelligence. You think the American people pay attention? They don't. And Trump knows it. And let's not even get into the fact that now we know. So all these reporters, this dossier stuff, all this, these pages were all over D.C. for months and months and months. They all knew all this stuff. Reporters knew it. Intelligence people knew it. Members of Congress knew it. And Comey knew it. Now, I'm telling you, if there's a villain in here somewhere, it is the head of the FBI. If he knew there was this stuff on a candidate for president that even he judges to have some credibility, huh? And he doesn't say boo. He doesn't let the American voter know this. Instead, a few days before the election, he goes back to the other candidate, Hillary Clinton's laptop, or Huma Abedon's, or whatever, Anthony Carlos Danger sex texting wiener, and says that they have reason that this could possibly be something. And it wasn't. And it wasn't. People were voting already when he did that. And people never understood the email stuff. They didn't understand. They just heard email and thought crook. Email, crook. So the head of the FBI going against all protocol. Think about it. Meanwhile, he's sitting on this treasure trove of damaging information about the Republican nominee. So Comey is testifying yesterday at Congress, or the day before. And he was asked by two senators, so are you guys currently looking into these ties that supposedly the Trump campaign had with the Russians? And here was his response, the head of the FBI. I would never comment on investigations, whether we have one or not, in an open forum like this. Excuse me? This is the guy who was quite willing 11 days before the election to comment on an ongoing investigation. That amounted to nothing. 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 We're in serious trouble.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. There's so much. Okay, so Obama's approval ratings are out today, 61%. 61%, one of the highest of any outgoing president. The incoming, 37%. Good job, America. Hell of a job. Did you hear about this Trump app? Unbelievable. There's an app now that will send a phone notification to you if Trump tweets about a company in which you own stock. Because he's affecting the price of stocks when he does it. Okay, we got a call. Hello, caller.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
This is Beth calling.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if you happened to watch yesterday during the post-news conference, the ABC feed.
No.
They had on the former chief ethics officer under the George W. Bush administration.
Okay.
And this guy was absolutely just so enraged at the whole Trump farce of this trust, the fact that, you know, with there being the strong connection now that he owes money to China and the Russians, that at least the the Congressional and Senator Intelligence Committee, that they not be presented with copies of his tax return just to know who our president owes.
Yeah.
And he said he's appalled that neither of these, or anyone within Congress or Senate, aren't asking for that from the IRS.
Well, that's why I say the Republicans are traitors. They're the only ones who can. Yeah, they're traitors.
Absolutely. This Cochran yesterday during the Rex's hearing there. I mean, anytime Rex was getting in trouble with cross-examination from one of the Democratic senators, I'll tell you, I forget his name, but he was one of the senators from New Jersey. I mean, he was really hit.
Menendez. I think Menendez was on him.
Yeah, especially as far as sanctions, that this guy doesn't believe in sanctions because it hurts American businesses. As soon as he started to get into that, then Cochran interrupted and gave him a softball, and it's like,
right.
You've got to be kidding me. But
right.
The ethics guy from the W. Bush administration, I mean, he was so going after Trump that you could tell Stephanopoulos was getting uncomfortable and began to just keep saying, this is the former ethics officer from the George W. Bush administration we have online.
Uh-huh.
And I thought...
You can't find, but there's not an ethics officer anywhere from any party.
It's almost getting to the point where, and it's true, I echo the sentiment of everyone else, and that's the fact that where is a leader? Where is a profile encouraged to stand up and say something already? And it's almost to the point of, you know what, I really wish every single post-president that we still have alive would have a news conference, because it represents both parties and the fact that this is going against every democratic fiber in our country. It's eroding our democracy.
Yeah, see, you're engaging in magical thinking too, but yeah, can you imagine, right? So that HW and W and Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama all get together and tell America this cannot stand.
Well, considering you have enough people who were bureaucrats who represented neither party, and then you have those that represented both parties,
right?
Making and coming out with statements, intelligence officers and everything, just people who don't have the credibility in the sense of garnishing a national attention. They keep blowing the whistle. Those people have stuck their neck out on the line. And it really is some former past leaders that need to really step up here and say, stop.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that they're all going to go to the inauguration? I mean, I thought they shouldn't go to the inauguration.
It's like there was part of me that thought, they believed in that whole duty of, as far as the peaceful transition of power.
But do you believe in a peaceful transition of power where you hand...
We are not way past that. And as far as the CNN thing, I really hope that Obama and his press people, he offers or does some sort of executive order before leaving.
It can be redone. It can be...
Well, at least have it on the record so that that you cannot withdraw a press pass from the White House if, you are a journalistic organization on at least 48 channels in the United States. Because CNN's representative's press pass is going to get pulled on January 21st.
Did you see who he called on? So he won't let CNN ask a question, but he calls on Breitbart.
I know. Well, hey, that was the fail-safe. If there's a question we don't want to answer, that's where we're going. And you know what? I have to echo it. We weren't able to call Monday or listen to your Monday show about kind of understanding our flyover people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Lynn, are you hearing me?
I am.
Okay. There are so many people, like my wife and friends of ours, that left those types of areas, left Middle America, Ohio, and Oklahoma, and West Virginia for those areas because you know what? Those people weren't going to accept them for being gay. And I don't really see so much the East Coast, West Coast as some sort of, yes, those are where you have major financial centers and everything else. But it's more than just an intellectual leap. It's also the fact that people escape from the areas where they weren't accepted.
Well, that is true. That is absolutely true. I come from that. I come from the flyover, and all three of my parents' children left because, we had things to do, and not a lot seemed to be happening there. It's true. So I think I don't know, but I hear what you're saying. That's a different thing that you're saying.
We just started, as you were talking, we were listening to the show, and we just started bringing up how many people we personally knew that had left these areas. Again,
so they could live their lives.
So they could live their lives.
Yes.
And not be persecuted.
Yes.
So
true.
I have very little tolerance for these people, I have to say.
I understand.
And also, we're having a very difficult time because of, family members voted, like everyone else, who voted for him. Even though in our situation, it's like you have someone gay in your family.
It's amazing.
You have someone with special needs in your family. And you still voted for this vile person. So we're not as, how should one say, accepting and, trying to, we've been trying to bring them into the fold, and we're just looking at it as now being combative.
I hear you.
So.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. God help you. Bye. Henry writes, last night on CNN, they showed an interview with Anderson Cooper and Kellyanne Conway. As much as I agree that CNN did a nice job yesterday, Conway had Cooper on the ropes in this interview. She berated and chastised CNN. I've never seen Anderson Cooper have such a difficult time with any interview like he did with this one. BuzzFeed may have taken down CNN, but Conway took down Cooper. CNN should not have put Cooper in the position of defending their entire company. Oh, God. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. Wow. Okay. Oh, what was the announcement today? We have a call? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, caller. Hello.
Fuck you, bitch.
Oh, well, that is good for you. You're a very articulate person. You got anything else to say? Fuck you, bitch. Is that's it? That's all he's got. Oh, okay. Well, there's the opposition, guys. Huh. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm
I mean, I'm not feeling well either, which is adding into this, where I'm just sort of like, ugh. Hey, by the way, change the subject. Front page story on in the New York Times today. Front page story on a family in suburban Pittsburgh. The Ivankos. So they have a front page story on the fact that Jackie Ivanko is the only name who's going to be appearing at the inauguration singing the Star-Spangled Banner, and that her sister, transgender sister, is currently engaged in a legal fight with the Pine Richland School District over bathrooms. And so, front page New York Times piece today about how here's one American family where one and they talk about how close these sisters are. They both go to the same high school. They take a lot of classes together, and they got each other's backs. And they have been on the receiving end of all kinds of nasty stuff. Jackie for appearing at the inauguration, and of course her sister Juliet for being transgender. So they're sticking together. It's a light little nice kind of article about just one American family in these times. And how, I mean, there's an American family, right? Right here in suburban Pittsburgh. And they've got a transgender sister, and they're tight, and they're fighting for her. And they got another sister who's got a really extraordinary voice, and she didn't consider it a political act when asked to do the Star-Spangled Banner. She thought it was an honor. And how they're just soldiering through. What a world. Okay. It is beyond belief that Jeff Sessions could be the Attorney General if you watched any of his stuff. These guys, they just sit there and lie. They just lie. They don't recall anything they did in the last 40 years. They disown, discount, distance themselves from their actions, their statements, their votes. And all the august senators sit up there and let them go. Whatever happened to, like, perjury? Whatever happened to contempt of Congress? Whatever happened to, are you kidding me, sir? Extraordinary. Really. We have another call. Hello?
Hello, what's your opinion on Donald Trump?
Excuse me?
What is your opinion on Donald Trump?
In 25 words or less? Can I do it in a tweet? I think he's an unserious, dangerous, tyrant, wannabe, narcissistic, buffoon, vulgarian, dangerous man, and he could easily destroy American democracy. That's what I think.
So you would pick Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump, even though Hillary Clinton...
I would pick Ronald McDonald over Donald Trump. I would pick... Are you... Okay, listen.
Okay.
Okay, you're the guy who called up a minute ago and said, fuck you, bitch.
What?
Yeah, goodbye.
Well, there's a guy who voted for Donald Trump. Hey, I'm going to give you a phone number here. If you call this number, they give you all kinds of information, and then every day it changes, and they also tell you what senators to call on any given thing, and they put you right through to them. You want this number? Really, I've already done it. It's pretty neat. 844-241-1141. Give it a shot today. I haven't seen what's on today, but it's like things like right now they might be. There's a lot of Republicans that are getting queasy about the Affordable Care Act repeal, and they tell you exactly who to target or who to. Al Franken, for one, Senator Franken is still not clear that he might vote for Sessions for AG. That's unbelievable. So they'll put you right through to Franken maybe, or tell you how. But check it out. Here's the number again. 844-241-1141. 844-241-1141. Hello?
Hello, Lynn.
Yeah.
You finally made it. You've made it on the internet. You're being trolled.
Yes, I am.
That's
a feather in my cap, huh?
Exactly. It's just too bad they don't know your listeners. We're sitting here laughing. They're thinking, oh, we're going to dig it on her. We're sitting there like, oh, you got a troll. That's cool. And we're just going, oh, boy, what an idiot. I get them on Facebook all the time.
I bet. Sure.
They don't realize that the people in my Facebook friends are not idiots. And they're just sitting there back there laughing at them.
Right. They not, well, you know.
I don't think it makes any difference because they're Trump supporters, and Trump doesn't even realize people are laughing at him.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, yeah, you know, you talk about this all day, and I haven't felt the danger yet. I know it's serious.
It is.
I'm still this guy's a joke.
It's not, though. I'm so far beyond that. He is so dangerous, Clarence.
I know he's dangerous. You know, my intellect knows he's dangerous, but my feeling still sees him as
a clown.
A clown, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the whole thing with Russia. I don't know if you saw my Facebook page, but I made 3P. 3P memes. You know, make the funk the P funk, and a new what was the other one? Changing the definition of Goldwater Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one I had like a little cartoon that everybody uses for football teams, where it's like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes peeing on him.
I mean, I don't know.
I get it. Believe me, I get it to how serious it is. And I was talking to a common friend of us, the long-haired hippie freak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I said, he says, this is dangerous, and we're, the country, this, that, and the other thing. I said, how am I affected? I'm poor now. I'm going to be poor when it's over.
Yeah, but you're alive now. You might not be alive when it's over.
I said, yeah, I saw that they, I'll do like everybody else. I'll just go buy guns. I'll go buy a gun, feel safe, and I think they're going to, make it legal to buy silencers, so.
Oh, that's what, one of Trump's kids really wants silencers to be more available.
Yeah.
So you can assassinate people with no difficulty. Yeah. You know what? You could shoot up an entire theater and people wouldn't even know.
They would know. People would just be dropping. That's it. I think the thing that bothers me most about guns is that loud noise.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing. Look what he gave you for president.
God help us.
You keep saying it.
I do keep saying it, and I don't even believe in God.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm like a scared little kid right now. I really am. I am.
I've seen some things that I haven't seen, in the past, and he's very much a fascist dictator kind of guy. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He definitely is. It's what he has no more sense of what this country's about. That he's going to have the nuclear code is so terrifying to me. That he is going to have access to the intelligence community. That they will be working for him. Oh, my God.
Well, hopefully we only have 2 years of this mess.
I don't know. I can't imagine. He's not going to finish out his term. There is no way you can't even, the nouns, the adjectives, there's so many possibilities, you don't even know where to go. There's no way he finishes 4 years. No way.
My prediction is that he gets in there and realizes the work that he has to do, the actual work.
Yeah, but he won't do it. I mean, he's already farming it out. Pence will do most of it, and Bannon will do it, and Ivanka will do it, and Kushner will do it. You got people who do it. He's just going to every once in a while have a rally, and he's going to tweet.
Yeah, but I think he'll have a heart attack.
That'd be nice.
Before his term's up.
That'd be nice.
Next 2 years.
Okay, you.
Okay.
Good to hear from you. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. I'm sorry for my low and depressed affect today. I'm not feeling great, and I'm also, as I said, scared shitless. Talk to you tomorrow.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.